Hey guys, welcome to Battle VIP Terrible to the new called 𝑦𝒊𝒐𝒍𝒆𝒕 featuring the new Chi-Yu EX from Paldea Evolve with the Flame Surge attack doing 100 base damage for 2 fire and searching your deck for 3 fire energy, attaching it to any 3 of your bench Pokemon. So you get to choose 3 of your bench Pokemon and attach only 1 copy to each of them, and that means we get to play our Armarouge to basically fire off all 3 of those fire energy onto our Charizard VSTAR to play our Star Blaze on the next turn. So we have our Basin as well to get extra energies in the game. So on the next turn we got 3 energies on our bench in addition to 1 energy from our hand or from the Basin. We got enough to play the VSTAR power for us to attack with doing 320 damage for a VMAX knockout or even a stage 2 EX knockout, which is crazy because we get to do big damage for instant kill. We also get to play our what's it called again, explosive fire for 230 damage after doing our flame surge, because it's actually hitting 100 damage as well. So after doing 100 damage with your Chi-Yu, you can actually play Charizard for massive damage. If you're up against an EX deck, we just need 3 knockouts to win the game. So we got Boss and Serena to target any basic V or EX like Squawkabilly or Lumineon on the bench, helping us win the game by knocking out the last V Pokemon for the last 2 price using explosive fire for 230 damage if you have any damage counters on your Charizard VSTAR. So make sure to be aware that you need damage counters on this Pokemon to be able to hit the extra 100 damage. So we need our Magma Basin for us to place damage counters on our Charizard, so that we get to play explosive fire for big damage. For only 2 fire and 1 colorless, you get to do a lot of damage with this Pokemon. We're not actually able to kill a V-Star with explosive fire though, unfortunately, but we can do a V knockout, and that's actually enough because our first attacker, as we said, is doing 100 damage using our Chi-Yu. We also have our Bravery Charm for Chi-Yu as well, helping us survive an extra turn. We're only playing 1 copy for this deck, but if we get it at the right time, we could actually help it survive, denying them a knockout on our EX, helping us do more damage multiple turns in a row, helping us attack more times with our Charizard so that we get extra prizes and win the game by being faster than our opponent. So if they can't knock out our Chi-Yu, we got another extra turn to do explosive fire, hitting big damage over and over, and boss actually helps us. The last minute boss helps us collect the last prize, essentially winning against an EX deck because we are doing a lot of damage every single turn non-stop, and we have Armarouge Magma Basin as well to help us get the energies to satisfy the attack cost. We have our Radiant Greninja for the draw support, and also 4 Iono, 1 Serena, 2 Research with 1 Zinnia to help us draw out the right cards into our hand. We're playing our regular setup cards, 4 VIP Pass, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Capturing Aroma for the evolution, and also 1 Heavy Ball to get any basics from the prize. We have 3 Magma Basin, 2 Escape Rope, and 1 Switch. 1 Energy Search to get our fire energy into our hands, so that we get to play Radiant Greninja's ability, drawing cards into our hand, and also discard for our Magma Basin. Radiant Greninja with Magma Basin is a very perfect combo, as we all know, and everyone has been using. Lastly, we have 1 Super Rod to shove back our Pokemon energies, helping us play our Flame Surge a second time, since we are searching the deck to attach energies onto our bench Pokemon with this attack. So that's all for the deck list. Now let's go for some gameplay and see how well this deck works. Okay, let's go for our first game versus Miraidon. We've got our Charizard VSTAR with the new Chi-Yu EX. And we get to search the deck for 3 fire, attach it onto our bench with Flame Surge before actually transferring our energy onto our active Charizard VSTAR on the next turn. Obviously we cheat or switch onto our VSTAR to move the energy for us to play our Star Blaze on our second turn. Right after evolving the Charizard, if we go second on our first turn, we get to play Flame Surge for 3 energies on the bench. And then on our second turn, even if they do a knockout on our Chi-Yu, we get to evolve the Charizard on the bench and play Star Blaze already. So Chi-Yu is giving us turbo energies for our fire Pokemon. If we don't play Star Blaze, if we choose not to use that V-Star power that early, we can actually save it for later by doing our explosive fire first. I feel like that would be the smarter option, just because you are doing 100 damage already. 100 damage on the first strike with your Chi-Yu while getting the energy, and that means if you play explosive fire for your first knockout against a VMAX, against a V-Star, using your Serena. If you don't get your Serena or boss though, you can actually use it, you can save it for later. You can do your Star Blaze first and then do a boss later on the same Pokemon that has 10 damage counters on it from your Chi-Yu's attack to play explosive fire for the knockout. Explosive fire not really doing enough damage for a proper knockout against EX, against V-Star, against a stage 1 EX. which is a big thing now, but at least it's doing enough damage to kill off a basic. So any basic Roblox Pokemon I feel like would be dead. 230 is quite a lot though. Quackable EX is actually hitting the same amount of damage. So we have Rapidash though to help us do more damage with our fire Pokemon by discarding a fire from our hand, but we kinda need Armarouge though for our Chew EX since we are spending the energy onto our bench, and that means no space for Rapidash.
I think I get the Magnemite now. The Magnemite is supposed to represent some kind of resemblance to Bellibolt. Bellibolt, is that the name of the new frog Pokemon? Is it Bellbolt or Bellibolt? I forgot. I wasn't actually too sure. So the new Bellibolt has kind of like two fake eyes on the side, and Iono has two fake eyes as well. I'm only now getting this, the reference to Bellibolt. The Magnemite eyes, fake eyes. We got the Ultra Ball, but not enough energies to attack. We're not gonna play Iono. That's actually gonna help them. It's a waste. Then we got the Ultra Ball, but couldn't play it. Let's just bench something first. Let's do the Chiyu actually. If we get the Armarouge, we can already attach the energy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There we go. Switch is working way better than Cyclizar, because we didn't have the bench spot for it anyways. Are we gonna bench another something? Probably. We kind of need this one, but we also need the Charizard just in case they do a boss. If they play research, they can't do a boss though. 100 damage, not a lot. Not even doing a knockout against a basic. Baby basic. Let's attach to those ones. The fires, right? Chiyu EX. I love this Pokemon. It looks like a goldfish. A fiery energy goldfish. And it has like kind of like the what's it called again? I don't know what coin, but there is a coin, like a Chinese coin. Something related to feng shui. I don't know. I forgot the name of it. But there's a coin that has like a symbol in the middle. And the eyes actually look like the coins. Could resemble the coins. I have no idea. So we got the Charizard. Let's just play the Chiyu again. Might as well. Get more energies. Or we could just already start smashing. Let's just start smashing. If we smash though, well, they're gonna draw a card anyways. Let's just start smashing already. So we're gonna retreat to the Charizard. We don't have... Oh, thank God we have damage counters. I forgot to check actually. How do we have the damage counter? Oh, because they actually played the switching bowl, thank God. Thank God for the switching bowl, because we didn't get our basin. Let's hope we get the basin now. There we go. I'm not sure if we should be playing only 3 copies of the basin. I don't know what to replace though. Because we definitely need 3 copies of each evolution. That's gonna make the deck a lot more consistent. If we play like one less ball, maybe. I don't think we get to play one less ball because we're barely getting our basics on the first turn anyways. We could possibly dump the Energy Search. It helped us though. Get our first energy. Maybe a supporter card? We're getting too many supporter cards. Maybe swap out one supporter card for another basin? Feels a bit risky though. Playing too many basins. We got Escape Rope. I think we're gonna play the Escape Rope because if they put this one, we got to knock out with Chiyu. Oh, they're gonna put the VMAX though. Well, if they put the VMAX, we got the VSTAR power. Oh, but they can kill us with the Raikou though. They can actually kill us with Raikou on the next turn. If they kill us with Raikou, I feel like, oh, we don't have any Charizards on the bench. So Chiyu is actually not doing a knockout. That's bad. I didn't realize we have no basic Charizard. Can they knock us out? They need another bench. They just need one bench, one energy. If they get the research, we're done. So they get to draw a card as well. Draw one card with the Raikou. Are we gonna risk it? We should have just knocked out the 𝑬𝒗𝒐𝒂𝒓𝒄. Oh well. Are we actually gonna risk it? We have a boss, so I'm not sure. Let's just do the Zinnia. I don't think we want to be playing Iono. We have 4 Ionos for this deck. Kind of ridiculous. They're probably gonna do a boss though, right? No, I don't think they're gonna do a boss. Let's just, like, they got 6 prize remaining. Let's just play the Star Blaze. I don't care. I'm gonna fucking do it. 320 though, it's not even enough to kill like a Skeledirge. Well, Skeledirge has like 340, but if you base in for the Skeledirge without healing any damage, right? We got Oricorio though. We got the new Oricorio to recover damage, so you don't really need to worry about the base in damage counter. It's a basic as well. So now we just need the boss. If we can get the boss, we can actually kill off this one. I feel like we should be playing Oricorio from Fusion Strike, because we could actually collect the knockout after doing Flame Surge twice. We can't kill a V-Star though, but we can kill like a basic EX. If we did Flame Surge twice on the same Pokemon, if we're lucky enough to target the same Pokemon with Flame Surge, we could actually do like Passionate Dance. I forgot what's the name of the attack. I think it's Passionate Dance. I don't actually know. Glistening Droplets, right? It's called Glistening Droplets. We could actually glisten for 5 damage counters to knock out a basic V, because it's actually still not enough to kill a V-Star. So 280 HP, we're only doing 250 damage total. So I'm not sure if Oricorio really has that much value. I'm just gonna stick to this list. No Oricorio. Okay, moving on to the next game. Now we're up against Gardevoir EX. Let's do it. Chiyu versus Gardevoir. Fire versus Fairy is actually a Psychic type, my bad. Zacian V is a Fairy though. I don't see many people playing the new Gardevoir. So the new Gardevoir has Balloon Burst, Drifloon, using Bravery Charm to basically tank more damage counters. The more damage counters you hold with the Drifloon, the more damage you get to do, because you're hitting 30x damage for each damage counter on your Drifloon. And if you have 10 damage counters on it, you are doing a V-Star knockout, you're doing a Stage 2 EX knockout. Tinkaton only has 300 HP, so 300 damage is actually enough to kill most Pokemons in the meta right now. Except maybe Meowscarada or, you know, the higher HP ones. Magnezone EX as well.
any VMAX. I don't think Drifloon can do a knockout against a VMAX. So I guess that's why Zacian is still better. But it's a 1 prize though. If they don't do a boss in a Gardevoir, they're only drawing 1 prize for a Drifloon knockout. The bad thing I would say is because the reason not many people are playing that list is because, you know, it's allergic to Sableye. It's allergic to Lost Box. If they play Sableye, Lost Mine, they can knock out your Kirlia, in addition to the Drifloon inactive for 2 prize. And if that's your main strategy, you kind of need to keep placing... You can actually choose to place less damage counters though against a Lost Box, because you don't really need to... you know, you don't really need that much damage to knock them out, unless if they play Giratina V-Star. If they play Giratina with Sableye and nothing else, I think that would be like the best list, because if you add more cards like Radiant Charizard or Greninja, you know, with the Mirage Gate, you may actually have way too much energy and way too much cards in the deck for it to be consistent. If you just focus on Giratina and Sableye, it would be super consistent, and you can actually do knockouts with your Lost Impact, and then later collect extra knockouts with your Sableye. So if they place too much damage counters on their Drifloon, focusing on the Giratina knockout, they may not be expecting Sableye to swoop in, collecting 2 prizes at a time each time they play the Balloon Burst. So that's the reason it's not really that good. It's kind of the same though if you draw 2 prizes with your Sableye, or do a knockout with your Giratina on their V Pokemon, you're still drawing the same number of prize cards. The thing is, Sableye could potentially, you know, add more damage counters in the game for you to get a bonus prize by, you know, by the time you play your 3rd Sableye or your 2nd Sableye. Anyways, back to the game. Now we got our V-Star, finally. And we're just gonna smash, knock out the Zacian. We have the Escape Rope, okay. We're actually gonna evolve the active. And, oh, we have the Basin and the Energy in our hand. So, let's play the Iono and hopefully dig for the Ultra Ball for our Armarouge. If we get the Armarouge, we can actually kill off the Zacian right now. Oh, but we don't have any damage counters though. We have no damage counters on our active. Oh, that's the problem. Armarouge doesn't really work that well with Charizard, unless if you get your Basin. So you kind of have to play Star Blaze first, after doing Flame Surge with Chi-Yu. If your first attack, if you're lucky enough to pull off Flame Surge as your first attack, it's not always possible, but you know, for most games I think it's quite easy to pull it off, because we have our Escape Rope, we have our Switch, we also have our Basin for Chi-Yu to go, you know, to do our Flame Surge early. If we attack with Chi-Yu first before playing our Charizard V-Star, since we need to evolve, we have to attack with the basic anyways. So if we attach the energy, if we get to attach the energy, might as well play Star Blaze before doing Explosive Fire, just because we can actually tank damage. We have to earn 80 HP. If we play Explosive Fire first with the Basin, we are reducing Charizard's HP, and that means they can actually knock us out with 1 hit. If they are not doing a knockout with 1 hit, we could actually survive on the next turn with the same Charizard play our Explosive Fire after playing the V-Star power on the last turn. So that would be a better deal, but for this, for the current meta, I don't think it's that easy for Charizard to survive 1 turn, just because Chien-Pao is a water type and it can quite easily kill off Charizard with just 2 energy attached. Any other deck as well is doing doing massive damage. Miraidon with Regieleki VMAX. Zacian is doing a huge knockout with Gardevoir, attaching unlimited energy from the discard pile. So any deck in the current meta right now can quite easily hit for a 1-hit knockout. And I'm not sure if we can actually tank with our Charizard. They may not have enough Elaki VMAX in play though. They need exactly 2 VMAX in play for them to kill off a V-Star. And if they have only 1 VMAX, they're only doing 250 damage with their Miraidon, unless if they play Choice Bell, obviously. And for Zacian, they actually need enough, they need to discard enough Psychic Energy, and since we're playing that many Ionos, we could actually block them from getting their Kirlias. As you're seeing right now, they didn't get their Kirlia. They got the Gardevoir EX, but no Kirlia. So they don't have enough Psychic Energy right now in the discard pile for them to do a V-Star knockout. So we actually get to tank on this turn. We did waste our last turn not attacking, but right now we get to survive for us to attack, basically collect the knockout on the Zacian V early by using Explosive Fire. So we're going to play another Iono, bench the Charcadet So I feel like we need to play a Penny, just because we have Chi-Yu stuck in the bench right now. After playing a Flame Search, you don't really want to have your Chi-Yu in play. You either want your opponent to knock it out, or to just pull it back into your hand with a Penny, just because we may need to play our Manaphy. And since we have 2 Charizards in play, we need 2 Charizard, one for the next attacker. Since we need to evolve the V-Star, we have to bench the second Charizard while attacking with the active. We also need a Charcadet for security and our Radiant Greninja for the draw support, and that means we have no space for Manaphy. How are we going to protect ourselves against a bench Knight? There's all the tiny things that you need to think about. Tag cards, right? Penny is kind of like a tag card. So back to the game. Now we forgot to play the Basin first before attaching the energy. I mean, we could have avoided the damage counter from the old cemetery. Happens, always happens. That was quite stupid, honestly. So we couldn't actually play the Basin without discarding the energy, but might as well, because we have no supporter cards in our hand. Might as well just draw extra cards with Greninja. We actually needed to do that. So here comes Explosive Fire for the knockout. We got enough energies for our next Charizard to play Star Blaze. If they don't play the Stadium, if they play a Stadium, we're gonna need a Fire from our prize or the top deck. Probably gonna get something from prize right now. Oh, we just got nothing. We got a VIP and a Heavy Ball. That's not gonna help. Okay, here comes Max Miracle. What's it called again? It's not Max Miracle. That's Mew VMAX. Miracle Force. Miracle Force. Miracle is normally related to Fairy type, isn't it? A Magical Miracle for Gardevoir and Sylveon. Miracle something. I forgot. But I think that's the only one. Magical Miracle. And now we have Miracle Force for Gardevoir EX. But Mew actually has the same attack. So either Psychic or Fairy, I guess. Max Miracle. I don't like that. It feels more like a Fairy one. Feels more like a Fairy move. Magic is Fairy, but I guess Miracle is Psychic. Anyways, doesn't really matter. So here comes the Pokestop, helping them discard their energies and get the item. It's quite funny that they're not getting the Kirlia. I'm not sure why they're not getting the Kirlia. I think they discarded the Kirlia with the Pokestop. Or have it prized. Okay, they're playing Mewtwo V Union. Maybe that's the reason. They have so many Pokemons in the deck. They're bound to have a few cards prized. A few of their Kirlias prized. They actually evolved the first EX with a rare candy, so that means they didn't play a single Kirlia yet. And it's quite late in the game. We've already done our first V knockout. They've played Psychic Embrace the second time. So not sure what's happening. But here comes the Mewtwo though. Mewtwo, if they can summon the V Union right now, they got the knockout against our Armarouge. And that's actually really, really bad. Because we have no Charcadet anymore. They just played Avery. So thank God no Mewtwo this turn. We have to bench the Charcadet right now. Because that means we have, they need 17 damage counters. They actually need 17 to knock out both the Armarouge and the Charcadet. So make sure not to place too many damage counters on your Armarouge. Because that way, you can save yourself against a double knockout with damage counters. If they use damage counters like Sableye or Mewtwo V Union, they can actually deal with your Armarouges. Like, if you have no more Armarouge, we only have one rod to shuffle them back, but we do have 3 copies though. We can quite easily just bench it again on the next turn. If we bench way too many, they may just get free prizes by knocking out our Armarouge over and over. So we have to be careful with that. If we don't bench though, we got no more attackers after our Charizard. So I think we're going to have to play our Star Blaze to knock out the V Union. Because if we knock out the Gardevoir, they're probably going to play another rare candy to evolve the next one. Probably going to play Miriam or Clara with the rare candy. So we have to, if we knock out the V Union, they can't revive that Pokemon. And that means they can't play the Final Burn or Psy Explosion anymore. and that's gonna help us a lot, right? They have nothing but Miracle Force and Zacian, but Zacian can actually do a big knockout though. They can actually play boss against our Chi-Yu or our Charizard V-Star and knock it out. And we don't actually have any one-price attacker as well. They don't actually need the boss. They just need to keep killing the Charizard. So we are actually forced to play Flame Search for this turn, digging our deck for the energies. So we've got a late entrance for our Chi-Yu EX, which is fine still, just because we are getting the energies for our next turn, unless if they play the boss, right? So I'm not sure if we need to be adding Poncho for this list, just in case they target the Charizard on the bench. If we evolve it and play a Poncho on it, they can't do a boss. And they're forced to basically deal with the Chi-Yu. So we have our Bravery Charm attached to the active. And they could actually decide to play Mewtwo right now. So if they do Side Explosion to put pressure on the Charcadet on our bench, we have to Rod back our Armarouge. I'm not sure if we need to play the Rod because we have 3 copies of Armarouge in the deck, but I think we have 2 priced for this game just because we actually digged. I think that's our only Armarouge in the deck, and we have it in play already. So we actually need to play the Rod and the Ultra Ball at the same time to revive the Armarouge in a single turn to play our Fire Off ability, so that we get to play Star Blaze, knocking out the V-Union, because we already have 4 energies in play, 5 actually. If they knock out the Armarouge with Side Explosion, that means we have only 1 less energy, and we don't actually need to dig for the energy. We just need to dig for the Ultra Ball. No more Radiant Greninja means we have less access to our supporter cards. If we get the energy, we don't get to draw. So that Avery is actually destroying us a lot. Avery is actually a good card right now just because, you know, Chien Pao needs Palkia V-Star Excalibur on the bench with a free G-Bags for security. If they bench too many Pokemons, you can quite easily just play the Avery to force them to discard their Pokemons. And if they don't play enough Rods, if they don't get it at the right time, if they don't search for it, they're kind of screwed, right? If they don't shuffle back the Pokemons, how are they going to re-evolve the Excalibur? How are they going to reuse the ability on the next turn? So obviously they can't actually play Avery and do the knockout on their bench Pokemon at the same time, unless if your opponent doesn't play Manaphy. If they don't have a Manaphy, you can quite easily do a bench snipe to knock out the Excalibur while playing an Avery in a single turn. Or you could quite easily just do Cross Switcher and Avery to target any, you know, any key cards, any key ability supports on their bench, knock it out and force them to get stuck on the next turn. Like a Bibarel, for example. Okay, here comes the Mewtwo. If they play a boss and knock out the Charizard, I don't know what to do anymore. Because that's our only Charizard in play. I think for this game, we're only playing 2 copies of both Armarouge and Charizard. I don't know. Are we only playing 2 copies? I'm not actually too sure. Okay, here comes the pressure on our Charcadet. If we don't get the Ultra Ball, we're done. We have to deal with the Mewtwo right now. If we don't play Star Blaze on this turn, it's over. It's basically over. So unfortunately, we didn't get our Ultra Ball from the top deck, but they did give us our Pokestop. And as you can see, we have 2 Bravery Charm for this game. So eventually, I decided to swap out the Bravery Charm for another supporter card to make this deck a lot more consistent. We have a lot more supporters now, and 3 copies of each Charizard with 3 Charcadet and 3 Armarouge, making the deck a lot easier to play. So you don't actually need to worry about not getting the right cards, not sustaining the flow, not re-evolving your Charcadet, reviving your Armarouge right after the knockout if they play the boss. So let's do our Rod. They actually gave us the Pokestop though, so we actually get to play it to dig for our Ultra Ball. And we actually did get it from the top 3 cards of our deck. So here comes our Rod with the Ultra Ball, digging for the Armarouge back into play. We got to re-evolve it and do our Star Blaze. We don't even need the switch. We just need to retreat the Chi-Yu, and we got our V-Star power on this turn. Our V-Union knockout. So many VIPs. I normally play 4 copies for my deck. I'm a little bit obsessed with that card because you get to bench 2 Pokemons early. We have Artisan now for Evolution EXs to help you bench your basics, but I feel like for most decks, we can't really go without a VIP. You need at least 2 or 3 copies in a deck just because most decks play that card. Most meta decks play VIP, and that means you need your you need VIP or Nest Ball, you know, some way of countering that. If you don't play enough of those basic summons, you don't get a proper setup on the first turn and you're done. So we got our V-Union knockout by simply retreating our Chi-Yu for 1 energy retreat cost. We got 4 energies transferring onto our Charizard, and now we got the energy from the prize. We get to play Explosive Fire. Can they knock us out though? I don't think they can if they don't get their Zacian. We got our Charizard staying alive on the next turn if they play Miracle Force. Let's hope they don't get the Zacian. If they get it, we're so screwed. We have no attack. We have 1 prize left though. So if we get the boss, if we're lucky enough to play the boss, we may be able to finish them off. They need a lot of damage. They need to attach multiple energies on the Zacian though. So I'm not sure if we could actually knock them out with our Chi-Yu after they've attached that much energies. If they attach 6 energies on the Zacian, then we got to knock out with Flame Surge, right? Because we're doing 100 damage with it as well. We just need 2 energies. We just need the Basin. We still need the Basin though. That's actually pretty sad, isn't it? So we have a lot less of a consistent list. We have Torkoal as well, as you can see. We have Cyclizar, Torkoal. And we actually did make use of Cyclizar for this deck, for this game. I actually prefer to play Switch, but I'll leave you guys to decide if you want to play Switch or Cyclizar. Because Cyclizar is a free retreat Pokemon, and that means you can play Escape Rope, Ultra Ball to bench it, Escape Rope retreat. So if they have a Lumineon V on the bench right now, Escape Rope is not actually going to help us do the knockout without Cyclizar, right? So if we did the Escape Rope onto the Chi-Yu, we still need an extra energy to retreat, and that means we can't actually switch back onto the Charizard. We can't retreat back to the Charizard and attack with our Explosive Fire to knock out the Lumineon. So I guess Cyclizar could be the better option depending on the scenario, but I feel like Switch is a lot more versatile, so I'm just gonna stick with it.
Okay, let's go for Charizard. Tails. We have a Miraidon coin because I initially wanted to build a Rayquaza VMAX for Chi-Yu EX, but since we have Chin Power now, doing a knockout, 1-hit knockout against any VMAX, Rayquaza is actually not a good card in standard for now. So if they knock you out with 1 hit, they get 3 prize. And Rayquaza is doing max burst for a lot of damage for each fire energy you discard from that Pokemon. But obviously the price counter is not good, so we don't get to play a VMAX anymore against Chin Pao. We have to do a V-Star. But Charizard is sort of like a dragon. It's like the Red Dragon. So it's kind of the same thing. It's not actually a dragon type, is it? I think the Mega Evolution is a dragon type. Arcanine EX. Arcanine versus Charizard. You could actually do Arcanine with Chi-Yu, but that would be pretty lame. Let's just get another Charcadet. No basin. Pretty sad. I'm not sure whether to play what's it called again? The Charizard, because you could actually do another switch. We only have 2 escape ropes for this deck, which isn't really all that secure. So you could actually think about swapping the Charizard for another switch card, an item switch, but you never know what's the best thing to do, honestly. Oh my god. This is bad. 250 damage. They can't kill us though. We definitely need to evolve. 100 damage is killing the Charmander. Oh, we got Escape Rope Boss though? Oh shit, I forgot about Escape Rope Boss. Oh, but we don't have enough energies. Oh my god, I just played the Ultra Ball. That was a dumb move. If we don't get the basin, I'm gonna flip. We didn't get the basin. Oh my god. Should have done a Chi-Yu just now, cause like they couldn't do a knockout. Why would we need to get a second Charcadet? We should have gotten the Chi-Yu. Oh man, that was really stupid. Ah, can't believe myself. Oh wait, we got Greninja though. We can draw a couple more cards. Are we gonna play that? Let's just bench the Charizard, maybe. We shouldn't have shuffled the deck too many times. We didn't get the basin. That's so annoying. That is so annoying, man. Oh, fuck. If we get the switch instead of the Charizard, we could have attacked with Flame Surge, at least. No more Charizard. Charizard is terrible. I don't know why we didn't bench the Charizard on the last turn. We definitely should have done that. Feels very silly. So we have to play Iono. Okay, we got it. We actually got it. The energy and the basin. We got a lot of energies though. We should be getting it. I just place damage controls on this one. And we get to play our V-Star power. I don't think we want to be drawing more cards because Greninja is not going to get us another energy. Let's just play that. If we get a Tails, we get another Charcadet. Because they're probably going to target a Charcadet, the Armarouge. Yeah, right? I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to play that yet. Do we actually go for it? Whatever. Cyclozar is wasting a bench spot as well, so I feel like it doesn't really help much. It would be better if you get another switch. Should we be playing 4 basins? I have no idea. $250, they can't knock us out though, right? Let's just do the Iono, right? Let's base in on the Chiyu. We should be basing on the Armarouge every turn, since we got the ability, and we don't want to be reducing the HP even more. So I think that's it. We got Ultra Ball. Let's do it next turn. 130 plus 100. I thought it's 100 plus 130. Makes sense though, right? 100 damage for 3 energy would be way too low for a V-Star, right? So we need 260. We can't really kill the Arcanine that easily, unfortunately. Need the Rapidash. Okay, they just killed the Chiyu for some reason, because they want to force us to play our... Okay, Cyclozar would actually help now. We got Armarouge though, so we just need to evolve this one. I don't think we need the Basin, because they probably are playing Basin as well. One, two, three. And I feel like we shouldn't play the rod yet, so I'm not gonna do the research. Nothing we can do. We're 30 damage short. Got no Rapidash. What? They got Tinkaton, Charizard, and Arcanine. That's such a weird deck. Tinkaton for the draw support, and also to attack. For 1 Psychic, 1 Colorless, doing 180 damage, if I'm not mistaken, if you play the support card during your turn. There we go, no more energies. There's nothing left to do. Oh, we got the basin. Oh shit, I forgot to play the basin. How did I forget to play the basin? Darn it. They need to switch. Okay. 1 against Arcanine. Still a win. I'm gonna take it.